So I just moved into this new apartment here, and it's not like a ton of money, but it's just like a two-bedroom, and I really love it a lot because I was homeless like 18 months ago at 16, and I just moved in here. So this is the front door. I just want to show it real quick before I talk about my business and so on. There's like the kitchen right here, and like the thing is, bro, like I love this kitchen so much because um, well, every other place I've always been, it's always been like a small kitchen, or like even when I used to be living with my parents, like they were not that like like obviously they were not like rich, so we didn't really have like a nice home. But like I just love this place so much, right? Because I have it all to myself. I live on my own. There's like the guest bedroom here, and there's like the bathroom here. So actually, see like that was the most I can go. That's like literally so that's the sink here. And that's like the toilet. And then that's like the shower. Now I'll be honest, some stuff I'm missing in the apartment because I just moved in a day ago. So there's still like a lot of stuff missing. And then literally this is like the guest bedroom right here. Okay? And this is like my setup over here. I love this setup so much because I literally just, I got everything from scratch. Okay, so first of all, the Bluetooth mouse and keyboard. Okay, obviously, like everything is linked to my laptop. Okay, so everything is linked to my laptop, and literally, I can see the view immediately after, like whilst I'm working. I can immediately, like just go outside and meet the view. But also this chair, I love this chair so much simply because like it helps me to work for like long hours now instead of like I used to sit on like a dining room chair, like these hard chairs with like it just has no comfort, but this helps me so much, bro. And I love this big monitor, and I just have a little webcam on it, so that's what I'm gonna be using, maybe for the next 4 to 5 months to scale my agency, you know. And yeah, this is where I'm gonna stay. It's very quiet also. um, and yeah, this is like the view outside here in the balcony. And yeah, so over here is like, it's just like still a bit empty because I still need to move in stuff, but that will come in due time. So I'll just sit down right here and like just, yap a little bit to the camera. So, you know, this week a lot of stuff happened. First of all, is like I cannot even take on any more clients into my agency simply because I need to focus on the clients that I have. I'm trying to hire some people and so on. And literally my entire week went moving into this new apartment. I don't even have internet right now. I'm using my data. So it's just like everything right now is like super slow because I need to literally um, be relying on my data, and I always buying when it runs out and so on, because I use a lot of data for the work that I do. And the next thing is, there's one kind of weird thing that happened this week. So obviously I had bad habits like any other young man. For example, like porn, scrolling. These were my two biggest ones. The reason why is because I'm not someone that parties a lot. I'm not someone that and it's just because of my upbringing. In my upbringing, I was never allowed to go parties. I was never allowed to have a girlfriend. So sex and partying would not be my bad habits, or drugs. Okay. And naturally, why? Because I was never grown up that way. Okay, so I was never allowed to do those things. But I got a laptop from my school, so I would hide, and I got to learn about porn, like when I was, I think maybe like 14 or something, 14 or 15. Okay, and it messed up my brain. Obviously, it messed up my brain a ton, and I got addicted to it, right? So I had like a little tablet from the school, and I would basically be watching bad stuff on it. And also another thing was scrolling. So I'll be scrolling a lot, since I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. Okay, I didn't really had any other bad habits apart from those two, and it led into me even when I'm like growing my business right now. It still basically was a problem for me. And what happened was, sometimes since I'm working on my own, I would spend hours upon hours upon hours scrolling. And what kind of like changed that for me, what kind of removed the bad habits, was, I'll be honest, me coming to this new apartment. Well, it's only just been like a day or something. It's just a new environment. I feel refreshed. I don't feel like doing any bad habits. And even before that, for a few, basically I kind of like stopped my bad habits, right? Why? For like a good while now. The reason why is because I started socializing more with people. So for example, I started talking to girls. And what that had me immediately do was like stop watching porn, because I was like, okay, now I'm talking to real girls. If I'm gonna have real sex, I don't wanna be watching porn, so that I don't have erectile dysfunction. Okay, and it sounds kind of crazy, but that was what's going through my head. So immediately my brain was like, okay, I want this reward, so I won't take this little reward here. I want the real thing. And what happened was I felt no need for porn, and I still don't feel the need for it now, because I told myself, hey, okay, like I won't stop you from basically having sex. But then I took it a bit too far. What I started doing was it kind of like just became almost like an obsession of me, of like, okay, bro, I need to basically have sex with a girl for me to, the thing is I'm a virgin, right? So I wanted to feel like, I'm a real man. And the reason why is because when you watch porn and you scroll and you waste time, it makes you feel really bad about yourself. So I was like, oh, if I basically have sex with, a real woman, it will make me, feel more like a man. And I thought that, that was the case, but I could not be further from the truth. And the reason why is because I'm sure you know so many guys, maybe from like your school, or if you're older, like literally from your workplace and so on, that they have sex with girls and they're literally nothing, that you don't want to be like them at all. Okay, and the reason for that is simply because having sex with a girl doesn't automatically bring you success. Okay, if anything, it can be a distraction, and most times it is, if that's not the girl that is helping you build your empire and help you grow your business. Like literally, when I mean help you grow your business, she's supporting you. Okay, so if it's not that girl that you're being intimate with, most times it's just a waste of time, and it's like even like wrong to do. All right, it's like fornication according to the Bible. So I had this thing of, oh, I need to like have sex, but I saw so many people that I know have a lot of sex and they're losers. Okay. And, with pretty girls too, and they're still losers, which led me to, make the statement of sex doesn't make you a real man. And the thing that makes you a real man is having, I think, self-respect for yourself. Like if you have self-respect for yourself, it leads you to do a lot of things. For example, if you have self respect for yourself, you will stick to your word. You will chase your goals relentlessly. You will make sure that you pick the right decision, even in times where it's easier to do the wrong thing. You will always be noble and courageous in everything that you do. Okay? And that comes from when you have self respect for yourself, because you choose what is best for you. And the things, if you don't have self respect for yourself, then you won't do that. So, self respect is what really makes you a true man. And you only build self respect by keeping promises to yourself, by doing the stuff that you know you need to do, by chasing your goals relentlessly, by not getting distracted by girls or any other bad habits. And when I truly understand that, I stopped putting sex on a pedestal. And I was like, if anything happens naturally, then yeah, I don't mind doing it. But I found myself setting up dates with people and I had to just cancel it. Not because I'm scared, but I could talk to a girl, hold a conversation, easy, eye contact, laugh and bullshit like that. But what really like, the problem I see is like, okay, why do you need to go on a date? Okay, obviously yes, it's to build some emotional, some chemistry with the person and so on, and make them feel safe around you. But why are you doing that right now? Like you should be focusing on your business. And what also happens is the more status you have, the more money you have, the more handsome you become, right? Which I'm not all that right now. When I have all that, all those rules of the normal dating, and the normal way to having sex with a woman goes out the window. Why I say that is simply because if you are truly a high value man, you will literally not you will not have to go on a date with a girl and then literally text her, every single day just for her to come to your apartment to, give you some pleasure, right? Normally, they're the ones that are like troubling you and so on, and that's the dynamic you want because it's easier then. So why make it hard on yourself right now, where you have to approach thousands of girls to get a few number, and then from those numbers you maybe even get zero dates, or you maybe get one and then that date doesn't even work out. Instead, focus on yourself. And I think that's like the biggest thing, because if you focus on yourself, look at all the top celebrities, footballers, okay, top athletes, top entrepreneurs. They don't need to be chasing girls, okay, because they get them naturally. Especially when you're a well-versed entrepreneur or athlete, most times you build other skills along the way. You don't just become proficient in one aspect, but you get better at communication. You get better at being more charismatic. All those different things will actually help you with dealing with women and so on. Okay, and most times it's just a distraction. Like, it's just a distraction, and you might think, you need the validation of, oh, I'm having sex with a lot of girls, but trust me, I think it's stupid, because there's so many guys that do that and they feel even more empty than anything. And you can literally, if you look at them yourself, you'll be like, I don't even want to be like this guy. So why then are you doing the things that he's doing, which is using sex for validation, which a lot of men actually do? Okay, including me. I thought, that's the route I needed to go, but then I caught myself and I was like, no, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever for me to literally be trying to use sex as validation. Okay, I cannot use sex as validation. I'm going to focus on myself, and the validation will be from my effort that I put into my goals. That's where I'll get the real validation from. So that's literally it for week 2. I'm in this new apartment now, and the setup is the nicest part for me, because that's where I will spend all the day working, and I won't get distracted, by girls and so on. And do you think that now I'm gonna be a weirdo? No, let me tell you what I'm going to do. If I see that maybe a girl is into me, then yes, I will literally, engage in conversation and so on. But I won't, and let's say, I get their number and so on, okay? I will talk to them, but my business will always be first. They will always be second. I will never put them above my business. For example, I will not go on a date unless I make time for it, and unless I literally don't have any work to do, okay? Like urgent work and stuff, then maybe. And even then, it'll be very short, okay? And maybe it'll just be at my home, because I'm not gonna be spending a bunch of, investment into this thing. It's like literally low quality. It's not gonna help me at all, because the girls that you get now, they're just going to literally distract you from getting even more handsome and more successful to get better girls down the road. So the girls that you have right now, they're stopping you from getting better girls down the road. Okay, so what you need to do is just focus on yourself, and that's what I told myself. Okay, this is not information for anyone, because I'm still a virgin. I can't tell guys what to do. And the thing is, I'll be honest, like, if I didn't want to be a virgin, I wouldn't be a virgin. Because there's a lot of girls I could just maybe have sex with, but it's maybe not the girls that I respect a lot. Especially when let's say a girl gives me sex easily, then I might not respect her as much. I'm not saying I won't take it, but I'll just see her as a whore, right? And most times they see themselves as that too. That's why they try to not make it easy for you. Okay, but besides the point, I'm gonna just be focusing on my business, and I think I'm gonna be scaling fast very soon. I actually record weekly videos every single time of myself. Not all of them that I put public. The reason why is because sometimes I talk about some really deep stuff, and I don't maybe want that to be out in the public yet. But this video, I think definitely I didn't really talk about something so crazy that I can't post it. So I'm gonna be posting this one, but every single week you should expect a video, unless it was really deep and I just archived it for me to post later down the line. So that's literally it for this video, and we'll talk next week.